My name is Jacob, son of Isaac, grandson of Abraham. My life, it has been one marked by struggle, deceit, and ultimately by grace. I was born grasping the heel of my brother Esau, and so they named me Jacob, the supplanter. From the very beginning, I have wrestled with my brother, with myself, even with God. Esau, my twin, was a man of the field, rugged and favored by our father. I, however, preferred the tents, the quiet life. My mother, Rebecca, favored me, and it was her love that spurred much of what followed. The birthright, the blessing, they belonged to Esau by right, but I desired them. Oh, how I desired them. The birthright was the first thing. One day, Esau came in from the field, famished. He begged for the lentil stew I had made.
Jacob, give me some food. I'm starving.
I saw my chance. Sell me your birthright, I said. He laughed, but his hunger got the better of him.
What use of a birthright if you die of hunger?
And so, with an oath, he sold it to me for a bowl of stew. A fair trade? Perhaps not, but he agreed. The blessing, however, required more cunning. My father, Isaac, was old and blind. He called Esau to prepare a meal, promising to bless him afterward. But my mother overheard. She told me what to do. We dressed me in Esau's garments, covered my arms with goat skins to mimic his hairy flesh, and prepared a meal as my father had asked. I went to my father, and he believed I was Esau. He blessed me, giving me the inheritance, the authority, the destiny that rightfully belonged to my brother. When Esau discovered the deceit, he was furious. Is he not rightly named Jacob? He cried, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He vowed to kill me. My mother sent me away, to her brother Laban in Haran, where I might escape Esau's wrath and find a wife. The journey to Haran was not easy. One night, as I lay my head upon a stone to sleep, I had a dream. I saw a ladder set upon the earth, its top reaching to heaven. Angels ascended and descended upon it, and the Lord stood above it. He said to me, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and your offspring. Your descendants shall be as numerous as the dust of the earth, and in you and your offspring shall all families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. When I awoke, I said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. I took the stone, set it as a pillar, and named the place Bethel, the house of God. Ah, Laban, he was a deceiver, a master of tricks. Perhaps I met my match in him. I loved Rachel, his younger daughter. I agreed to serve Laban 7 years for her hand, but when the time came, he gave me Leah, the elder sister, instead. Another 7 years of labor, and Rachel became my wife as well. Between them, and through their maidservants, I fathered 12 sons and a daughter. Those years were hard, but fruitful. My flocks grew, my wealth increased, but so did the tension with Laban. Eventually, I knew it was time to leave. I took my family, my flocks, and we fled. Laban pursued, but God warned him in a dream not to harm me. At last, we made a covenant, and he let us go in peace. Still, Esau awaited me. Years had passed, but the memory of his anger lingered. I sent messengers ahead, bearing gifts, hoping to soften his heart. I divided my camp, thinking if he attacked one, the other might escape. And then, one night, I was left alone. There, by the river Jabbok, a man came and wrestled with me until dawn. Was he a man? An angel? God himself? I cannot say. But we wrestled, and I refused to let go until he blessed me. He touched my hip, dislocating it, but still I clung to him. "What is your name?" he asked. "Jacob," I replied. "Your name shall no longer be Jacob," he said, "but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed." And so I was blessed. But I walked away limping, a reminder of that night. The next day, I met Esau. To my astonishment, he embraced me. He ran to me, threw his arms around me, and kissed me. We wept together. He did not seek revenge. He accepted my gifts, and we parted in peace. My God, who had been with me all my days, had turned my brother's heart. Life went on, and I settled in Canaan with my family. My children were many, and my sons were strong. But there was discord among them. I loved Joseph, the son of Rachel, more than any other. Perhaps I should not have shown my favor so openly. I gave him a coat of many colors, a gift that set him apart. His brothers resented him for it, and for his dreams, those dreams that seemed to place him above us all. In his dreams, he spoke of sheaves of grain and the sun, moon, and stars bowing to him. I was troubled by those dreams, but I pondered them in my heart. One day, Joseph went to see his brothers in the fields, and he did not return. They brought back his coat, torn and stained with blood. They said a wild animal had devoured him. I was inconsolable. My beloved Joseph, gone. I tore my garments. I mourned for days. No one could comfort me. Years passed. My family grew. My sons married and had children. But Joseph's absence was a wound that never healed. Famine came to the land, severe and unrelenting. We heard there was grain in Egypt, and I sent my sons to buy food, all except Benjamin, the youngest. I could not bear to lose him too. When they returned, they brought strange news. The governor of Egypt had spoken harshly to them, accused them of being spies. He had demanded they bring Benjamin to prove their honesty. They had left Simeon behind as a hostage. My heart sank. How could I send Benjamin, my last tie to Rachel? But the famine persisted. Our supplies dwindled. Judah, my fourth son, stepped forward. He promised to protect Benjamin, to bring him back safely. Reluctantly, I agreed. They took gifts, and I sent them with a prayer. May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, so that he will let your other brother and Benjamin come back with you. As for me, if I am bereaved, I am bereaved. Days later, they returned with astonishing news. Joseph was alive. My Joseph, the governor of Egypt. He had revealed himself to them, forgiven them for their betrayal, and now he wanted us all to come to Egypt. He sent wagons to carry us, provisions for the journey. I could hardly believe it. My spirit revived. "It is enough," I said. "Joseph, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." The journey to Egypt was long, but hope sustained me. As we approached, Joseph came to meet us. I wept on his neck, and he on mine. My son, the son I thought lost forever, was restored to me. We moved to Goshen, where Pharaoh had granted us land. My family, now a great household, thrived there. I have lived in Egypt for 17 years, but now my time draws near. Before I go to my fathers, I have blessed my sons. To Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, I gave a portion among their uncles, adopting them as my own. To Judah, I spoke of a ruler's scepter, a prophecy of kings to come. To each son, I gave words fitting his life and destiny. I have charged them to bury me in the cave of Machpelah, where Abraham and Isaac rest. Soon, I shall gather my feet into the bed and join them. My life was one of struggles and blessings, trials and triumphs, but through it all, God has been faithful. He kept his promises. Through my children, a nation will arise as countless as the stars. I am Jacob, called Israel, and this is my story.